What is up, everyone? I am Brad from iBUYPOWER, and today we have a very special video for you. You can see here we have our snowblind cases with our transparent LCD side panels. You know, every time we bring these cases around with us to events, people are always asking me, you know, how much for the case, how much for the side panel? And I always have to tell them, oh, unfortunately, you have to buy it as a whole system. You can't get the case by itself or the panel by itself. That's all about to change today. Today, I'm excited to announce we'll be selling our snowblind cases to DIY. You can buy one of these cases standalone, build your own system in it. You don't have to buy an iBUYPOWER PC, you can just get the case by itself. So there are 3 cases in the snowblind family. Here we have the N450 that's based on NZXT's Noctis 450 case. In the middle, we have the snowblind Element that's based on NZXT's S340. And over here we have the snowblind S. This is our own custom case just for iBUYPOWER. Since we normally sell these as complete systems, there hasn't really been a formal walkthrough of the specs and features of these cases, so that's what we're here to do today. Starting with some of the common features, of course all 3 of these cases have our signature transparent LCD side panel. That's going to plug in with a DVI connection on both the N450 and the Element, and it's going to plug in with HDMI on the snowblind S. In Windows, each of these is going to show up as a 1280 by 1024 display, just like a second monitor. For the N450, that's going to be in landscape orientation. For the Element, that's going to be in portrait orientation. And for the snowblind S, that's going to be in landscape flipped. So make sure to go and make those adjustments in your Windows display settings. For the interior lighting, for the snowblind Element and the snowblind S, there is a button on the back that will toggle the interior lighting on and off. For the snowblind N450, the lighting will always be on as long as the computer is on. When choosing components for your build, make sure to go with white or silver parts. That's going to give the best contrast for the display. Don't worry too much if you can't get a full white or full silver themed build going on. There's a lot of small touches you can do that'll really help out a lot, such as white sleeved cables. You can get white custom back plates for your graphics card. If you want to get really creative, custom paint your heat sinks, maybe use a little white adhesive vinyl here and there. Just make sure that whatever you're doing, it's not going to have an adverse effect on the thermal performance of your system. As for the content for the side panel, high contrast abstract artwork looks really great, but of course we recommend that you go through and experiment, really just check out a bunch of things and see what works best for you. If you're looking for software to play animated backgrounds like these, we recommend Wallpaper Engine on Steam. It's only about $5 and it's really powerful. It's got a lot of content from the community already, and you can add your own custom videos and it makes things really easy. If you want to add something like a usage gauge or like a temperature meter, there's a software called Rainmeter that's free and open source. You can design your own ones. We also made some of our own that you can download to get started. You can find those on our driver page. Of course, they are 3 different cases, so they are going to have different levels of hardware support. You know, we mentioned already that these 2, the N450 and the Element, are based on NZXT cases, and they retain all the original hardware support capabilities of those NZXT cases. So for example, the N450, you get 360 and 280 millimeter radiator support, both on top and in front. You get 6 hard drive trays, you can support 2 SSDs, big power supplies. So if you want to build a really high-end system, you know, this is kind of still the way to go. The snowblind S, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on because this is a custom case just for iBUYPOWER. So, you know, there's not a lot of information about the hardware support. As far as radiator support, side-mounted 240 millimeter radiator. You can also get a rear-mounted 120 millimeter radiator. Hard drives mount directly to the bottom of the case with screws, and there are 2 SSD trays behind the motherboard tray. So that's 2 mechanical drives and 2 SSDs. Both the snowblind N450 and the snowblind Element have their panels mounted on a hinge with little door latches up in the front. So you're going to undo those latches and the door will swing open. If you do need to remove the side panels from the Noctis or the Element for whatever reason, you can open the doors and lift up on the hinges and the panel will come off. Keep in mind that the panel is tethered to the little input box here. So if you're going to remove the panel, you kind of have to fish everything out as one assembly. That's one of the big improvements we made for the snowblind S. There's no more cable that tethers the screen to the case. If you want to remove the screen, you just undo 1 thumb screw at the back, push the panel aside, and it'll lift off. You can set it aside for whatever reason you need. When building in these cases, of course we mentioned with the snowblind S, you can just take the side panel off. So we recommend doing that, kind of setting it aside, you know, where you're not going to kick it or damage it, and then building in it like a normal case, and then just putting the side panel on when you're done. If you are building in the snowblind Element or the N450, we recommend you leave the screen attached to the case just sort of lay it down on the table with the screen opened up. Make sure while you're building that you're not going to be setting anything down on the inside of the panel. Of course, it is a LCD, you can damage it that way. There is a protective plastic layer, but it can be scratched easily, so just keep stuff sort of away from the inside of the side panel while you're building. Anyways, that about concludes it for this video. We're super excited to finally offer these cases to the community. I'm sure we've missed something, so if you have any extra questions, make sure to leave a comment, give us a call, send us an email, hit us up on Facebook or Reddit, get in touch with us some way and we'll try to get to you. I hope you're excited as I am to finally get your hands on one of these, so thanks for watching.